Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight. Chapter 68, Boats. The group split in two, and each took a separate boat. The oaken craft were sturdy and yet sleek. They glided down the underground river with a swift pace, illuminating their way with a combination of unicorn horns and lit torches swiped from the Minotaur camp. The large width of the stream and the tall height of the cavern made judging the actual speed of their journey practically indeterminable. Overall, it was a relatively relaxing experience, and the ponies took advantage of the moment by breathing evenly and shaking loose the permanent jitters from the previous hours of panicked escape. The Winthrop mares and stallions talked with one another, reveling in the dark chapter of their lives being over and anticipating what happiness awaited for them in their home village. There was still an overlaying cloud of uncertainty, a fear that the Minotaurs weren't quite done chasing them, or that the stream was heading towards a dead end. Regardless, as the hours went on, and they marveled at how incredibly long the river was, they worked together as a group. They kept the boats from drifting apart. They called out to one another to point out and avoid obstacles, rocks, stalagmites, and debris. The entire time, Rainbow Dash was a constant aid to both groups. She darted back and forth like a winged corridor, giving one group a set of supplies taken from the Minotaur camp, giving the other group some stolen food, making sure all the torches were well lit. All the while, she did her best to liven the situation, making a joke here and there at the Minotaur's expense. Several ponies actually managed to chuckle, and the dim ride became less grim.
"She was like this at home, Daddy,"
Rockspot said as he sat in a tiny seat next to Red Turnip Sr.
"Some of Red Turnip's friends told me that she helped the guards fight off a bunch of the monsters when they attacked at night."
"Well, she seems to be a very brave pony, Spotty,"
Red said with a smirk.
"I wonder if I'll pick a sorry like Miss Dash."
Rainbow touched down and hoofed several ponies on the boats and supplies.
"Only the sexy ones, kid."
Rockspot's face scrunched up.
"What do you mean?"
"You'll find out about 8 or 9 years from now,"
she said with a wink. Red Turnip laughed.
"I bet you're pretty popular in Austraeoh.
I may have raided a rich house or two,
but fought minotaurs and monsters and caused flash floods."
"Let's say I'm still working on my portfolio,"
Rainbow Dash exclaimed. She grabbed a canvas bag and called across the cavern, her voice echoing over the waters.
"Hey Astral, I got the tools you asked for."
She nodded towards the ponies in Red's boat.
"Be right back."
"Take your time, Miss Dash."
Rainbow flew up, flapped her wings, and glided easily to the other boats. She landed lightly at the very rear of the craft, squatting beside the lonesome Astral.
"Still don't know what you want with all these metal knickknacks, dude,"
she remarked, digging her hoofs through the bag full of metal junk.
"I'd be catching some Z's if I were you. I could have sworn you were gonna pass out several hours ago."
Well, with how weak we were with the Minotaurs forcing you to do all that stuff telekinetically.
"Did you eat any of that food we found?"
Astral said nothing. He sat in a slump, his eyes nervously shifting across the waters around them. Rainbow Dash saw his expression.
"Hey, buddy."
She leaned forward and squinted in his face.
"You alright? You look as though your horn weighs 100 tons all of a sudden."
He gulped and squirmed in his seat. He slowly turned to look at Rainbow. When he spoke, it was in a low, unsteady voice.
"Miss Dash, on the 2 separate occasions you did battle with Thunderhorn, did he state anything in the midst of his anger as to why he was so vehemently chasing you?"
Rainbow Dash rubbed her chin and stared up at the slowly passing ceiling of stalactites.
"Well, it's all a blur. But I figure it was along the lines of, 'Hey, you horrible sack of glue, I'm gonna kill you and stuff, grrr.'"
She shrugged.
"I didn't pay any attention, really. I was too busy smacking his face every time he opened his mouth."
Astral merely shuddered and stared down at the leather strap he had been carrying the whole time.
"Hey,"
Rainbow hoarsely uttered.
"Why the long face? I mean, besides you being an equine like me and the rest of the gang and all."
He bit his lip, then opened the pouch of the leather belt. Rainbow winced slightly. She braved the dizziness as Astral pulled out the silver chaos strip. Exhaling, she remarked,
"Yeah, okay, so there's the chaos strip that Thunderhorn had. What's your point?"
He gazed at her. He merely held the strip in silence. Rainbow blinked.
Wait, where's the second one?
His lips quivered. I was terribly afraid I would have to ask you the same. Rainbow Dash went pale. She glanced at the rest of the ponies in the group. She now understood why Austraeoh had been so reserved and quiet.
But...
She looked at the belt.
There isn't another pocket in that thing where the second one could be hidden?
No, Miss Dash. I've spent the last several hours checking.
Then...
Rainbow started to hyperventilate.
Maybe the thing fell out of his belt when we were fighting. Maybe he got crushed in the tunnel, or...
There's really no way to tell, I'm sure, Austraeoh remarked. But the fact of the matter is, we only have one strip now.
What's that mean exactly?
Rainbow remarked, the coat hairs on her neck raising on end.
We could be attacked by monsters at any time?
That would definitely be the case. The Thunderhorn's Minotaur still had the other strip. But the fact of the matter is, we haven't been attacked.
It's not like they could have forgotten about us, right?
There's no limit to the range of the Chaos Strips, so the length of our flight would be no excuse either.
Then what gives?
Rainbow Dash's voice cracked.
I mean, I'm not complaining, but how come we're not Bat Freak food by this point?
Austraeoh shuddered. It's a mystery to me, Rainbow Dash. And please don't think I'm admonishing you in the lieu of this discovery. You have done so much to make sure that we've come this far and survived. But until we know more about this, I don't think it'd be wise to tell the other ponies.
Why not?
Sadly, your charisma isn't infectious to every member in our group. If they found out about the missing strip, panic would spread. And I doubt even you could put them all at ease.
Then what do we do?
Austraeoh sighed and slipped the strip back into the bag. We persist, we survive, and what's more, he gazed solemnly up at the passing roof of the large corridor. We found a way out of here. Rainbow Dash sighed and slumped against the edge of the boat. She stared down at her lethargic expression in the rippling waters.
What I wouldn't give to reverse time and bear the element of smartness instead.